All right, everybody, welcome. This is going to be a video going over the features of the Master Trade Tools Autotrader, as well as the web page and the different categories that I used um, to keep track of the finances. So, getting started, after you log in, you will find this page. This is our dashboard. It will be the page that is going to give you the most recent up-to-date information or messages coming from me. And basically, it's still a work in progress. So we, just use it, look at it. I can't guarantee when there's going to be more updates, but yeah, so that's basically that. If you're a new user or new customer, welcome. And you will also see a set of setup instructions for when you first log in to your account after creating your account. And it will tell you how to set up the API key IDs. Hold on, rewind. It will actually tell you how to create a alpaca trade account, and then how to get the API secret key and API key IDs to input into the web page, or this page here. It'll have 4 different input fields that you will paste that information in, and then you will hit submit, and that will send it to the Amazon secret database that we've got. So it's definitely necessary for that to happen. Otherwise, the algorithm is not going to be able to do the trading for you, because it won't be able to connect to or it won't be able to pull up your alpaca account. So after you've done that, then this is the only thing that's going to show up after it has recognized that there has been either a paper account created, where you change the dollar amount to the requested amount, which is, if you're going to do a paper trade account, then I request that you only do a trade account balance of 30,000 or less. Because once you get into the 100Ks, then it uses a lot of processing. And we don't want to be doing that if we're using paper accounts. I guess you could, if you want to, contact me and we'll work something out. But so then what's going to happen is, after you have set up your alpaca trade account with either a live account or a paper account, then the following day, or depending on when you're setting this up, the next trade day, if it's a paper account, there's going to be a function that is ran automatically for the application, and is going to notice that you have now put a balance in your paper account, and it's going to create a bunch of information for you in the database, and that is how it's going to trade your account for you, as well as get the reporting and all the transactional accounting. If you do a live account, which is a real cash account, then it's probably going to take 3 to 5 days before that amount hits your account in Alpaca. But once that does occur, if it happens, um, during the day, during the trade day, the application will also notice this, and it will add the same information to the database that it was doing with the users that have a paper account. It's just going to take a little bit longer for you because of the money that has to go into your trade account. And the reason we set it up this way is because we don't want to be in charge of your money. And I know you don't want us to be in charge of your money. The only thing we should be able to access is the account information which is the dollar amounts and your trades and your sells and deposits and stuff like that. We can't actually do anything with your money. We can just do trades uh, for you, which is the way that I like it, because then we are not a financial company and we are not held to the standards of being a financial company when it comes to the taxes. At the end of the year, you will be paying the taxes on any capital gains that you have made using our service. Um, so I hope I've made that clear. The other thing is I am offering, and this is probably going to be a standard thing, I am offering a 90-day free trial to the service where people can come in and they can try it out for 90 days, see if it's going to be something that they're going to use. And so they can see the profits that they can expect to receive using our application. Once that 90 days is up, then what will happen, and I'm still in the process of setting this up, but what will happen is that user will log into their account. It will check to see if they are within that 90 days. And if they're not, then it will potentially put up a pop-up on their screen telling them, hey, this account is past 90 days, or it's it has exceeded its 90 days and the application is no longer trading for you. That doesn't mean your alpaca account doesn't exist. We don't have any control over that. We just have control over the application or the algorithm connecting to your alpaca account. So if it goes over the 90 days, we are no longer going to be able to do the automated trading for you. In the event that that happens, that could cause some accounting problems with what our service is showing as opposed to what alpaca is showing. So I do ask that, come in, try the service out. And if you like it, then great. We'd love to have you as a customer. And the 90 days would be a great time for you to just try out a paper account. Or if you really want to, you can do a live account. Either one is great. But just make sure that you don't go past that 90 days before subscribing. Yeah, it's just, there's obviously going to be some catch-alls that we're going to put in there to try to reduce any kind of problems that could occur during if somebody were to exceed that. But that's why I have put this on the main page, is where it says, if you are nearing the end of your 90-day free period, please make a payment below to keep your services from being interrupted, which is right there, which I've added the link. You can click on that. We're using Stripe as our payment processor. So yeah, that's in the works. That's not in the works. It's already done. So we also have set up a support@mastertradetools.com email address. So that way, if you have any issues with the application, a bug appears or something during the application, during viewing the application, or during your viewing your dashboards or the web page, then we want you to contact us at support@mastertradetools.com. That way we can be aware of it, and then we can go in and we can take care of it. You can also use this just to let us know how you like the app. If you like the app, let us know. If you don't like the app, let us know, but also let us know why you don't like it. So moving on. Once you come in, this is the first page you're going to see when you log in. The one thing that I find myself going to is the daily balances page when I first log in, because this is going to take a little while, but that's just because of how many positions I have currently open. The reason I come here is because this has got all of your charts. This has got your equity change chart. If you're not familiar with what equity is, I'll explain that. This is all, you also got your positions value change chart and the total in positions change chart. I'll go over those. The cash value change chart, this is the trade account balance that you have in your account as cash, not in current positions, not in positions that are currently open. Once a position closes, it goes back into that cash value change chart, which is why you will see, why you've seen here that this has sold some positions today, and then it's also bought some throughout the day. But you'll see a big drop off in the morning here, probably around 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock PST, it will be at, or not PST, sorry, it will be at 11 o'clock EST, Eastern Standard Time, because we're going off of the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ time. So we want to have the most accurate information. But it occurs at PST 3 hours earlier than 11 o'clock. And then, yeah, you just do the time zone change to find out when it's going to occur for you. Then we've got our profit change chart. This is where the chart that describes or is going to show you a visual representation of when the positions close and how much you're making off of them. Keep in mind, though, this also does take into account the current value of your open positions. This is the trade account value chart. This basically is going to tell you how much you have put into your Alpaca trade account and how much you're telling us that we can trade with automatically. So if you do any kind of, if you get into it and you decide, hey, I want to put more money into my Alpaca account, okay, send us an email and let us know. That way we can go ahead and update our records to know to look for that deposit. Then below that, we have our cash out estimation projector. So what this is going to tell you, say for instance, it was 220.24. We want to find out when or what our projected ROI is going to be at a specific time, any month, any year, any day. So let's say 2024, June 30th, and hit submit. It should pop up. It's doing a lot of calculations in the background because it's projecting this information. And then scroll back down. There we go. So if you were to cash out on 6/30 of 2024 with our current earnings and our current market conditions, it would tell you that you need to stop investments on or by 6/26 of 2024, which should yield a 25.6467% profit return, which would be a profit of $7,694.01. And that is based on the past performance, future projections, and the current investment of whatever your investment is currently, which we are doing a $30,000 paper trading account right now. As you can see, it's only been trading for 2 days, so that's actually pretty darn good. So we started out. The reason I also said you're going to look at this daily balances page when you first start out is because this is going to create a balance for you in the morning when the application starts up. And it's going to find out what your current equity is. Equity is your cash, your open positions, and your closed positions profit. So when you first start out, obviously it's going to be the amount that you invested to start with. And then these are all going to be zeroed out because that information has not been calculated yet. That will be calculated at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it will go and calculate how much you bought or how much we bought, basically, but it would really be how much you bought and the total invested, which would be obviously on the first day, the amount that you bought. And then it will give you that day's profit, today's ROI, the ROI stands for return on investment. And that is compared against your total trade balance. So if you invested $30,000, it would take your profit and divide it by, scratch that. Um, this is actually calculated by taking your day's profit against how much you bought that day. So it gives you an accurate representation of the percentage that you've made based on what you just bought today. Um, and then the total ROI, this is the one that I was trying to explain actually, this basically takes your total profit. So in this case, it'd be 0. But if you go down to the next day, it will take the combined value of each of the day's profits for as long as the application has been running and divide it by your initial investment, which in this case would be 30,000. And on the second day here, we made $62.30. So it divides that by $30,000, gives us a total ROI or total return on investment currently of 0.2077%. And then what it does is it also checks to see what your daily average ROI is. So this basically determines how long the application has been running, and then it takes your total ROI and it divides that by how long the application has been running. So in this case, it would be 0.1039%, which is that's pretty good because we got 252 trade days in a year. So let's do some calculations here real quick. 252. Actually, we don't even need to do that. I don't even know why I'm trying to pull up a calculator. That is actually shown up above. So at 0.1039%, we can determine that is expected to give us 12.1484% profit by the end of 2023, which would be January 1st of 2024, not even 6 months now, is going to yield a 12% projected return. Now, that would give us a profit of $3,644.51 by January 1st of 2024. Our target, what we want, and this is our guarantee to you, the customer, is you will receive, or you should receive, 18% or greater ROI annually. So from one point in the year to that same point in the next year, you should make 18% or greater. And in this case, it would be if we started on 7/21, then July 21 of next year, we should have an 18% gain of $5,400 basically is what that equivalates to. Yeah, $5,400 would be our target ROI, or target profit. But the results have been much greater than that. I just went with 18% because that is, well, it's better than most investment firms. I think they're only doing 12 to 15%, something like that. So also up here, we have our current market value. This is how much money you have currently invested in positions. This does not include your cash that is still available to trade. This is just what is invested in your positions, and then what the value of those positions are. So in this case, it would be down $100. So $27,920 would actually be worth $27,820 at this particular time. So this will update every time you refresh this page. Yeah, I know you're probably thinking, well, why would I want to invest if I'm in this case? You just started out and it's showing that there's $100 loss right now. Yeah, it's not $100 loss though because it's not realized. There is a difference between realized and unrealized profit. Realized profit is the profit from closed positions. You don't actually lose money until you close that position or that position is closed for you. Sometimes which occurs when you're running or you're trading on margin, which we are not. We are only trading on the cash that is in our trade account. So we will never have to worry about margin calls or anything like that. We can decide when we want to close those positions because we've got the money to put into those positions and we're not borrowing money from Alpaca. So yes, that position or those positions are currently showing that they are down $100, but they are not realized. They are unrealized. We do show what our realized profit is here, which is $62.30. This means that we have actually closed out positions and made a profit on those positions of $62.30. Now, what that does is this shows you, okay, well, I've made $62, but this position or this open positions show us at $100 loss currently. But technically, you're not at a $100 loss. You're only at a $38 loss, or not even really a loss, but a $38 minus projection because we have that realized profit against the unrealized profit. This is supposed to be the more simplified view, but if you are familiar with finances or financial data, you can click on the detailed profit and loss data, and this will give you a lot more information. For instance, it shows what is totally currently invested, which is $28,000.20. It tells us what our current value of current investments is, which is $27,920. It shows our unrealized profit and loss, which is the negative $100. And then it shows us our realized profit and loss. Then it shows our total profit since initial investment. This is a running total. So if you were to do more investments or you were to deposit more money into the account, it would have a running total of this profit. It will also tell you how many days the application has been running or trading for you. There is a difference between return and profit. Profit is, as I explained, it is the realized profit. Minus any current costs, which there are costs for trading on Alpaca, but it's very minute. We're talking like maybe a cent or 2 cents a day. In this case, it's been 2 cents a day, which is why we have a 4-cent cost. Total return is what we have received before costs. So in this case, it's that $62.30. Today, we received a total return of $62.30, which is the profit we received from closed positions. It also tells you what the average daily return is. In this case, it's 62.3 divided by 2 days gives us $31.15 per day. And then it also gives us our average daily profit, which takes into account current costs. So then over here, we have our profits after costs. So the current ROI, this takes into account our unrealized profit, our realized profit, and our costs, and tells us what our current ROI percentage is. Annual projected, as I said, is 1 year from today, which in this case, it would say that we're supposed to make $8,192.45. Annual ROI, this is the return on investment percentage projection, which is showing as a 27.3082% ROI projected 1 year from today. This year's projected is from now, or from any time that you get into the investment or you get into the application, to January 1st of the next year. It's showing we're supposed to make $3,644.51. This year's projected ROI is saying that we're expected to make 12.1484% on January 1st, by January 1st of 2024. All right, so the equity chart, this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. Equity is your cash value, your positions value, plus your profits. So this will be a running total throughout the day, and this chart will change every day. Currently, we don't have the ability to view previous charts, but that is something that we are in the works, or something we have in the works, which will be a selection button where you can select it to be for month, day, year, or 6 month, 3 month, however you want to do it. And then down here we have our positions value change chart and our total in positions change chart. I think that's a little bit self-explanatory, but the positions value change chart is basically talking about the value of the current open positions at this particular time. And then the total in positions, this is the total value or total amount you have in open positions at this time. And as I said, in the morning, you're going to see a huge jump because that's when it does the buying. And then at the end of the day, you should see, sometimes you'll see a large decline or a large drop. Sometimes you won't see such a large drop because that's when it does the finalizing of the day. And then, as I explained, the cash value change chart, which is how much you have to trade with. One of the things that my application takes into account is it does not reinvest your profits. I want to be able to leave this for you to be able to pull out those profits anytime you want. It will only invest up to the amount that, let me rephrase that. Say, for instance, you had $30,000 you invested on one day, and then you sold $10,000, but it was in a profit of, say, $11,000. It will not reinvest 31,000 or up to the value of $31,000. It will only reinvest up to the value of what you initially started with. So that way the profit will be available to you on Alpaca for you to withdraw through them anytime you want. And there won't have to be any consolidation of funds or anything like that. So that pretty much describes the daily balances page. One of the things that I'd like to make a point of is, as I state here, please do not buy or sell on your dashboards at alpaca.markets. This app connects to your trade account. That way it can do the automated trading for you. And that will throw off the accounting of this app. And we want to avoid that at all costs. If you decide, you're looking at the open positions page, which we'll go into here in a few minutes, and you see a position has been open for, say, 20 days, and it's red, which means it's at a loss currently, and you decide you want to sell it. Well, there is that ability on the open positions page. You can early sell or sell a position early if you want. This application does not sell for a loss. So you would be selling that. You would basically be taking responsibility for the losses on that position. This application did not sell it for you. You decided to sell it yourself, which that is absolutely fine. You're you're you can do whatever you want, obviously, but we have configured this algorithm to expect a certain percentage of profit, and also other conditions that it takes into account before it sells those positions. So I just wanted to give you the ability to decide if you want to sell that position and give you the ability to actually sell it. Let's not talk about it. Let's go and look at it actually. The opens positions page is going to take a little bit. Yeah, it didn't take as long. But depending on how many positions the application is purchased for you, um, will determine how long it takes for this page to actually open. The same thing is with daily balances. The more daily balances you have, the more calculations it has to do. And we are constantly trying to work on improving that efficiency to make the application faster. So that is something to look forward to in the future. So, excuse me. As you look at the open positions page, you will see an average time to close. This takes into account all your current open positions and all your current closed positions. And it finds out when you bought those positions and when you sold those positions. And then it finds an average of how long, what is the average of all of that to tell you what you can expect when you buy a position, what you can expect or how long you can expect to hold a position before it sells. In this case, it's 3 days. Um, this does also do day trading. So it all really depends on how much you put into your account. If you do a paper trade account, then the $30,000 is going to allow you to do day trading, which you have to have a previous day's end of day balance of $25,000 or more in your account to be able to do day trading. And day trading means that you buy a position or a symbol in this case. Say, for instance, A, B, and B. Obviously, it's Airbnb. Let's say you buy Airbnb in the morning, or the application does, and it goes up to where it expects the sellout of the position. Then, if you sell it the same day, that is considered a day trade. And if you don't have $25,000 in your account, then you can only do a certain amount of those within a rolling 5-day period. So once you go past the amount that you're allowed to do of those day trades for a non-day trade type account, then your account will be flagged as a pattern day trading account. But you don't have to worry about it with this application because this application will not allow that to happen. So if you don't have enough in your account to do day trading, don't worry about it. It just means you're going to probably hold positions longer than somebody that is using a day trading account. But as I said, this application does do day trading as well. It's all really contingent upon how much you have put into the account for the app to trade for you. Um, so in this case, it shows how many day trades are allowed. In this case, it's also unlimited because this is a $30,000 trade account. Then right here, you will have a red and green bar. This is going to calculate how many positions are currently above what you bought at and how many are below what you bought at. In this case, it looks like it's almost it's 100% of the purchases are in the green as well as in the red. So that's not bad. That's actually pretty good. And then below that, it's going to have your positions closing soon. This is all based on the algorithm. of what positions are going to close, what positions it's going to close for you, and why it's closing those positions. So if a position is going to close, it will add a stop loss to it, and it will show you what the stop loss is, and it will put it in this table up here to show you that this position is getting ready to close. It will tell you how much you can expect to receive from a profit for this position. It tells you what the current price per share is. It tells you the change of what the profit percentage is right now compared to what you bought it at. The 24-hour is going to tell you what that particular position or that stock has done in the past 24 hours. In this case, it's gone up 40 cents. Now, if you want to see a visual representation of this particular position, you can click this hyperlink of the position symbol, and you can see a graph. So in this case, we bought it. It dropped down to negative 0.5%, and then it went back up. So the reason this chart is not, it's showing it at, it says it's getting ready to trade or getting ready to close, but this is the current value. So it looks like after hours it went up and it went back down. So it probably won't close tomorrow. Then again, it may. I don't know. It all depends on the price action, on what happens. So then below that, you are going to have the year categorized, the month categorized for each year to tell you what your purchases were, when they were, what you purchased at, the quantity, the total purchased amount, and then, as I said, below over here, you've got your closeout position. Now, once you click that, it will have a pop-up that will ask you, are you sure you want to close out this position? You click out yes, and then it will create that sell for you on Alpaca. You can only close out a position during the trade day. You can't close it out. I mean, yeah, you can create the closeout or create the sell if you want to. And then the following day, it will close out that position. So, let's see. All right. So this is sortable. So you can sort it by date. You can sort it by share. You can sort it by quantity. You can sort it by the total and total amount, purchase amount. You can sort it by profit, current profit. You can sort it by what the current price per share is. You can also sort it by the percentage of change or the profit percentage. And you can also sort it by to see what stock has moved the most within the last 24 hours. In this case, it looks like it's COP. And as you can see, yes, it has been on a steady incline. So that's good. That will probably close out tomorrow. So yeah, this is a great thing. I mean, it's the algorithm is going to purchase a lot of positions. I don't think you are prepared for how many positions it's going to purchase for you and how many it's going to close. The reason I developed this is because stock trading can be emotional. And anybody that's been doing it for any amount of time knows trading on emotion is a horrible habit. It usually never works out. So I created this application so that way it removes the emotion from trading. You have a specific set point you're looking for, and this does that for you. So, and also being able to buy and purchase this many positions manually, it's going to take some time, but the algorithm does it like that. So I really think you're going to be impressed. So anyways, as I said, you can click on these to collapse them down to whatever category you want. July, these are all purchased in July. And yeah, just click around, look at the positions, see how they're going. Moving on, we have our all transactions. This page is going to show you all the transactions that were created and how many have been closed. So in this case, it has opened 198 positions in 2 days, and it has closed 10 of those positions. If you want to quickly see the positions that have been closed, go ahead and click on that sold category and categorize it by that. In this case, we sold RITM 18 shares, and we sold it for $182.52 for 18 shares, and we made a profit of $7, which is a 4% profit just for that position. Then yeah, you're going to see some really high profit percentages here. So keep in mind, those are for that particular position. That is the percentage of profit you made on that position. A lot of work has gone into the accounting for this to make sure that it's accurate and you can actually use it at the end of the year if you need to send to your accountant for tax purposes. So just like the open positions, this is going to be collapsible tables by the month and by the year. That's pretty much what this is going to be used for, is so you can see the positions that were sold and the percentage you made on those positions. You can also see when those positions were bought. So say, for instance, today's the 24th, and we want to find out how many positions we bought today. As you can see, there are quite a few. Have not added a counting function to this, but that would be a good thing to do. I could actually do a search function. So yes, they see we're always trying to improve the application, adding new features. And if there's something that you would like to see, please do not hesitate to send an email to that support@mastertradetools.com and let us know. The other page is the investor financials. This is a very quick view of the profits that you have made and when those profits occurred. In this case, it looks like a lot of them were on the 24th, and the total amounts that were received for profits on those positions. The deposit table is going to tell you when the most recent, or it's going to give you a full accounting of all of your deposits. This is just the deposits that you're making to your Alpaca trade account. So if you invest $30,000 and you decide you want to do another $10,000 a month later, then this will show that. But remember, if you do that, let us know that you are investing more money so that way we can be sure to look out for that, and the application will be able to pick it up and add it to the record keeping. The withdrawals is just the opposite of the deposits. This is any withdrawals you take against your current profits. So then the transaction ledger. This is going to be something that you could use at the end of the year to give to your accountant to tell you, okay, yeah, I know you've bought, say for instance, you've bought 1,000 stocks, 1,000 positions in that year. And one of the things is we try to diversify as much as possible, because diversification is how you make more profit. You don't want to throw all your eggs into one basket and expect to prosper from that one basket. You have to throw your eggs into multiple baskets, which is, as a lot of the people in stock trading know, is diversification. So back to the transaction ledger. This is a very good accounting of all your deposits and all your sells and the current equity at that time when you made that profit and the current balance. This is your cash balance right here. Your cash balance. So, yeah, we are still working on this website. It's it's coming along really well. I have to add an about page, and like I said, if you want to let us know any other thing you'd like to see, we'd love to hear it. So let's see if there's anything else I missed here. I feel like there's something I forgot to say. No, we've discussed that. If at any time you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. We want to make sure that you have a great experience. And please let all your friends know. I know that you saw that there was going to be a $30 per month fee to use this service after 90 days. And I just want to assure you that is not, that is going to be used on infrastructure expansion for the company so we can add more customers and more customers and more customers. Because as you know, or you may not know, the more customers you have or the more users you have, the more processing the computers do, which when you go off of cloud services, it can be a little bit expensive. So I just want to guarantee you the money that you are paying for the service, you will receive back much more. And the guarantee I also show on the main page. If you don't make at least 18% on your investment on a real cash account, you can decide to either cancel your account and we will refund your subscription costs spent up to that point for that year, or we can keep your account and that next year's subscription costs will be on me. So you won't have to pay anything for the monthly fee. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The application in a nutshell. It's just meant so you can still go out and enjoy your life and do the things you want to do. You can even work a full-time job, and this is still making money for you. I just I want to see everybody make money. I want to see everybody be able to enjoy their life. So, you know, let your friends know and welcome.